Elon Musk's ventures have always been larger than life, blending innovation, audacity, and a touch of mischief. From his electric revolution with Tesla to his dreams of colonizing Mars via SpaceX, his ability to challenge the norm knows no bounds. Yet few could have predicted the lengths to which Musk would go to test the integrity of something as mundane as a grocery store. The billionaire tech mogul, driven by curiosity and a penchant for the unconventional, decided to disguise himself as a homeless man to test a new grocery shop chain rumored to claim unparalleled levels of customer service. What began as a simple experiment spiraled into a bizarre yet touching series of events that ultimately left everyone, especially Musk himself, surprised. Before we start, hit the like and subscribe buttons for more exclusive news. The idea was born during a casual conversation at a dinner party attended by some of Silicon Valley's most brilliant minds. Musk, known for his quick wit and eccentric ideas, was listening to a debate about how customer service is becoming increasingly performative rather than genuine. People treat the wealthy like royalty, but how do they treat someone with nothing? Musk mused, leaning back in his chair. A gleam sparked in his eye as he continued, "What if I put it to the test?" No one took him seriously at first. Musk was notorious for his seemingly absurd ideas that often turned out to be groundbreaking. But as the conversation deepened, it became clear that he was entirely serious. The plan was simple in theory, yet layered with complexity. He would disguise himself as a homeless man, complete with tattered clothes, matted hair, and a weathered face, and visit one of the chain's flagship stores in Los Angeles. There, he would see how employees treated someone perceived as destitute, rather than a billionaire entrepreneur. True to his word, Musk began preparations immediately. He enlisted the help of a top-tier Hollywood makeup artist, someone who had worked on Oscar-winning films, to transform his appearance. Over the course of several hours, Musk was rendered unrecognizable. His usually immaculate features were obscured beneath layers of dirt and fake grime. His teeth were discolored with temporary enamel, and a prosthetic added a crooked bend to his nose. When he looked in the mirror, even he was startled by the reflection. The charismatic, sharp-suited innovator had vanished, replaced by a figure who looked as though he had spent years surviving on the streets. Dressed in an oversized, threadbare coat and clutching a battered duffel bag, Musk made his way to the grocery store on a sunny Friday afternoon. As he approached the automatic doors, the first thing that struck him was how many people glanced at him with mild disdain before quickly averting their gaze. It was an entirely new experience for someone used to being at the center of attention, whether on stage unveiling a product or simply walking into a room. Inside the store, the cool air and neatly arranged aisles created a stark contrast to his disheveled appearance. Musk shuffled toward the produce section, carefully observing the staff and customers. Within minutes, he noticed a pattern. Shoppers avoided walking too close to him, their faces betraying discomfort. He even heard a mother whispering to her child, "Stay away from that man," as if he were dangerous. The first employee he encountered was a young man restocking apples. Musk politely asked him where he could find bananas. The employee, barely glancing up, muttered, "Over there," and gestured vaguely toward the back of the store. It was a small interaction, but one that carried a heavy weight. Musk wondered if the response would have been different had he been dressed in his usual tailored attire. Undeterred, he continued his exploration, occasionally picking up a few items and placing them in a basket he had retrieved near the entrance. His disheveled appearance caught the attention of the store manager, a tall man in his 40s with a crisp uniform and an authoritative demeanor. The manager approached Musk with a polite but firm expression, asking if he needed assistance. Musk explained that he was looking for affordable meal options, to which the manager responded by pointing out the store's clearance section before quickly walking away. The turning point came when Musk reached the checkout counter. He placed a small assortment of items, a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, and a few oranges, on the conveyor belt. The cashier, a middle-aged woman with kind eyes, scanned the items while engaging him in casual conversation. Her warmth was genuine, a stark contrast to the cold reception he had received earlier. She smiled as she handed him the receipt and wished him a good day, her demeanor completely unaltered by his appearance. Feeling emboldened by the interaction, Musk decided to push the experiment further. He lingered outside the store, sitting on a bench near the parking lot. Several employees walked past him without acknowledgement, some even quickening their pace. It was then that a young woman wearing the store's uniform approached him with a small bag in hand. "Hi," she said softly. "I noticed you didn't buy much, so I thought you might like this." Inside the bag were a few sandwiches and a bottle of water. Musk was taken aback. "Why would you do this?" he asked, genuinely curious. The employee shrugged modestly. "I just thought you might need it. Everyone deserves kindness." This small act of compassion resonated deeply with Musk. He thanked her, his voice thick with emotion, and watched as she walked back into the store. For the first time during the experiment, he felt truly seen, not as a billionaire, not as a homeless man, but as a person. The next day, Musk returned to the store, this time as himself. Gone were the tattered clothes and disheveled appearance. He was back in his usual sharp suit, his presence commanding and unmistakable. The transformation was immediate. The same employees who had ignored him the previous day now greeted him with enthusiasm. The store manager, who had barely given him the time of day, rushed over to personally assist him. Musk purchased a few items before requesting to speak with the store's owner. When the owner arrived, Musk revealed his identity and recounted his experience in detail. The room fell silent as he described the stark differences in treatment based on appearance. However, he made a point to highlight the kindness shown by the cashier and the young employee who had offered him food. "I came here to test the integrity of your store," Musk concluded, "and while some of your staff fell short, others exceeded my expectations. Their humanity reminded me of what truly matters." To everyone's astonishment, Musk announced that he would be investing in the chain, not as a business venture, but as a way to promote kindness and equity in customer service. He proposed a comprehensive training program aimed at fostering empathy among employees, ensuring that every customer, regardless of their appearance or circumstances, would be treated with dignity. The story quickly went viral, capturing the world's attention. Media outlets praised Musk's unconventional approach, while social media buzzed with discussions about the importance of kindness in everyday interactions. The young employee who had offered him food became a local hero, and the store's new training initiative set a precedent for the industry. For Musk, the experience was transformative. "I've always believed in challenging the status quo," he said in a subsequent interview, "but this experiment reminded me that the greatest innovations often come from the simplest acts of humanity." The grocery store chain thrived under its newfound philosophy, becoming a beacon of compassion in an increasingly impersonal world. And while Musk continued to push the boundaries of technology and space exploration, he never forgot the lesson he learned that day, that the smallest gestures often leave the most profound impact. The buzz surrounding Elon Musk's unorthodox experiment at the grocery store continued to ripple across the globe, sparking debates, inspiring initiatives, and generating intrigue over what lay ahead for Musk and the grocery chain. While the public marveled at the billionaire's social experiment, the man behind the story quietly reflected on its implications. For Musk, this was not a one-off stunt, but an eye-opener into societal dynamics that even his wealth and influence could not fully shield him from understanding. In the days following his reveal at the grocery store, Musk became increasingly fascinated with the idea of how appearances and preconceived notions dictate human interaction. How many great moments or connections are we missing, he pondered, simply because we judge a book by its cover? It wasn't long before this question became a driving force for his next steps. While Musk had initially approached the experiment as a way to test customer service integrity, he began to envision a broader initiative to tackle biases on a systemic level. Musk called a meeting at Tesla headquarters to brainstorm ideas with a select group of his trusted advisors and collaborators. As the team gathered in a sleek, glass-walled conference room overlooking Palo Alto, Musk outlined his vision to create a program that could be implemented not only in grocery stores, but across industries, encouraging empathy and understanding among employees at all levels. "It's not just about retail," he explained, pacing the room with his characteristic intensity. "It's about creating a culture where kindness is standard, not an exception." The team spent hours dissecting the problem and brainstorming solutions. Musk's initial concept was simple: to create a virtual reality (VR) training program that would immerse employees in the lives of individuals from different socioeconomic backgrounds, Participants would step into the shoes of others through hyper-realistic simulations, experiencing the challenges of poverty, homelessness, or even chronic illness. Musk believed that such an experience could break down prejudices by fostering a deep, personal understanding of others' struggles. The plan quickly gained momentum. Within weeks, a prototype was developed at Neuralink, Musk's neuroscience company. The program combined VR technology with advanced neural feedback mechanisms, creating an experience so vivid that participants often found themselves emotionally overwhelmed. One scenario placed users in the role of a single parent trying to make ends meet, juggling work, childcare, and the stigma of poverty. Another simulated the challenges of navigating public spaces while homeless, capturing the subtle yet pervasive ways society marginalizes those who appear to be struggling. The first test of the program took place at the grocery chain where Musk had conducted his original experiment. Employees were skeptical at first, unsure of how wearing a VR headset could teach them anything about kindness. But as the simulations unfolded, their skepticism gave way to profound realizations. Some emerged from the experience in tears, confessing that they had never considered the difficulties faced by others in their community. The program's impact was immediate and transformative, reshaping the way employees approached their work and their interactions with customers. News of the program spread like wildfire, attracting the attention of companies across various industries. Musk, ever the opportunist, saw an opportunity to scale the initiative. He established a new division within his empire, aptly named EmpathX, dedicated to developing and distributing empathy training technologies. The division quickly became a cornerstone of Musk's legacy, garnering widespread acclaim and positioning him as a leader not only in technology, but also in social innovation. Meanwhile, the grocery chain itself underwent a remarkable transformation. Inspired by Musk's experiment, the company implemented sweeping changes to its policies and practices. Employee performance reviews began to include metrics for empathy and customer satisfaction, while a new mentorship program encouraged staff to share stories of personal growth and community impact. The chain's leadership also pledged to support local food banks and homeless shelters, strengthening its commitment to social responsibility. The young employee who had offered Musk food during his experiment, now a symbol of the company's values, was promoted to a leadership position within the chain. She used her platform to advocate for more inclusive hiring practices, ensuring that individuals from all walks of life had opportunities to succeed. Her story resonated with millions, a reminder that even the smallest acts of kindness can ripple outward to create profound change. While the grocery chain thrived under its new ethos, Musk's initiative faced challenges as it expanded. Critics questioned whether empathy training could truly address deep-seated societal biases, or if it was merely a performative gesture. Musk, however, was undeterred. He welcomed the criticism, seeing it as an opportunity to refine and strengthen his vision. "Change doesn't happen overnight," he told reporters during a press conference, "but every step forward matters, no matter how small." To prove the program's efficacy, Musk launched a series of controlled studies in collaboration with leading universities. The results were promising. Participants who completed the empathy training showed significant increases in emotional intelligence and a greater willingness to help others. These findings provided the scientific validation needed to silence skeptics and fuel the program's growth. Musk's experiment also had unintended consequences, sparking a cultural movement that extended far beyond the corporate world. Inspired by his story, individuals around the globe began conducting their own social experiments, challenging stereotypes and exploring the power of human connection. From high school students organizing empathy days to communities hosting events that encouraged dialogue between diverse groups, the movement took on a life of its own. For Musk, the journey was as personal as it was professional. The experiment had forced him to confront his own biases and assumptions, deepening his appreciation for the complexities of human interaction. He began incorporating lessons from the experience into his leadership style, fostering a culture of inclusivity and openness within his companies. Employees noticed the shift, describing Musk as more approachable and attuned to their needs than ever before. As the years passed, Musk's empathy initiative continued to evolve, adapting to new challenges and opportunities. Advances in AI and machine learning allowed EmpathX to develop even more sophisticated training tools, capable of addressing nuanced social dynamics and fostering cross-cultural understanding. The program became a staple in schools, workplaces, and community organizations, shaping the next generation of leaders and innovators. The grocery chain, now a global powerhouse, remained a shining example of the initiative's impact. Its success inspired other companies to follow suit, creating a ripple effect that transformed industries worldwide. Musk's initial experiment, once seen as a whimsical stunt, was now recognized as a pivotal moment in the quest for a more compassionate society. Yet, amidst all the accolades and achievements, Musk never lost sight of the simple truth at the heart of his journey, that empathy begins with a single act of kindness. He often reflected on the young employee who had offered him food that day, crediting her with sparking a movement that changed the world. "She didn't know who I was," he once said during a keynote address. "She didn't do it for recognition or reward. She did it because it was the right thing to do." And that's the kind of world we should all strive to create. Even as Musk continued to push the boundaries of science and technology, from building a Martian colony to developing AI-human symbiosis, the Empathy Initiative remained one of his proudest achievements. It served as a reminder that the greatest challenges, whether conquering space or bridging divides on Earth, could only be overcome through collaboration, understanding, and a shared commitment to the greater good. Decades later, the story of Elon Musk's disguise as a homeless man to test a grocery shop had become legend, taught in schools and studied by sociologists. For some, it was a tale of corporate accountability. For others, it was a lesson in the power of human connection. But for Musk, it was simply a reminder of what it means to be human, a lesson he carried with him to the stars and beyond. As Elon Musk's Empathy Initiative gained traction across industries, its impact began to ripple in ways even he hadn't foreseen. One of the most remarkable developments emerged from a partnership between EmpathX and community organizations focused on aiding underprivileged populations. Musk's team began tailoring the VR empathy training modules to include simulations that depicted the experiences of refugees, victims of discrimination, and individuals with disabilities. The expanded scope opened doors to deeper conversations about inclusivity and how societies could better accommodate and uplift marginalized groups. The grocery store where it all began became an emblem of these broader efforts. Under Musk's continued guidance, the store launched an initiative to actively hire individuals who faced employment barriers, including veterans, people with disabilities, and formerly homeless individuals. The staff underwent specialized training to foster a supportive environment, ensuring that new employees felt valued and empowered. This approach not only changed the lives of those hired, but also reshaped the culture of the workplace, creating a sense of purpose and unity among employees. One such hire was a man named David, who had spent years struggling with homelessness after losing his job during an economic downturn. With a steady income and a supportive team, David quickly rose through the ranks, eventually becoming a manager. His story, highlighted in a viral video produced by the grocery chain, struck a chord with millions, illustrating the transformative power of compassion when combined with opportunity. "I never thought I'd get another chance," David said in the video, his voice cracking with emotion. "But someone believed in me, and that made all the difference." Meanwhile, Musk's initial experiment continued to inspire innovative projects outside the corporate world. A group of educators in New York City adapted EmpathX's training modules for high school students, creating a curriculum that taught empathy and social responsibility. Through immersive simulations, students experienced scenarios like bullying, racial profiling, and economic hardship, leading to profound discussions in classrooms. Teachers reported a noticeable improvement in student behavior, with bullying incidents decreasing and acts of kindness becoming more frequent. In the tech sector, Musk's initiative inspired competitors to adopt similar programs. Rivals like Jeff Bezos and Tim Cook began exploring ways to integrate empathy into their organizations. While competition in business often drove innovation, this new race to outdo one another in promoting empathy signaled a rare alignment of profit motives with social good. Musk welcomed the competition, seeing it as validation of his vision. On a personal level, the experiment had fundamentally reshaped Musk's worldview. Though he continued to pursue ambitious projects like terraforming Mars and revolutionizing artificial intelligence, his speeches and interviews often circled back to themes of empathy and human connection. We can conquer planets and build the most advanced technology, Musk said during a United Nations summit. But if we lose sight of our humanity, we've failed. Years later, Musk reflected on the experience during an interview, describing it as one of the most important moments of his life. It wasn't just about testing a grocery store, he said. It was about rediscovering what makes us human. Empathy is the bridge between our greatest challenges and our greatest triumphs, and it starts with each of us choosing to care. The legacy of that day, when Elon Musk disguised himself as a homeless man, was more than a social experiment. It was a movement, a spark that ignited a profound cultural shift, proving that even the simplest actions can lead to extraordinary change. If you liked this video, please give it a like and subscribe to our channel. Also, could you leave your comments below and tell us? What are your thoughts on Elon Musk disguising himself as homeless to test a grocery shop? We want to hear from you. Thank you for watching, and see you next time.